This is an Eagle cassette. So you can see right there, it says Eagle technology, 500%. Yeah. And this is a Sram 30-tooth Eagle technology X2 sync chain ring. The problem I have with it is the 30-tooth part. That generally leaves me running from about here down. I'm running in about the bottom third of the cassette. So what I'm going to do is install one of these Absoluteblack, even though it's gold, 32-tooth oval chain rings. The premise here is that by installing this in the front, that I'll begin to use this middle third of the cassette more than just the bottom third. Because if I'm headed a little bit downhill and need to pedal to get up some speed or something, I'm easily in these bottom 4 cogs, and I think I would just like to be a couple more up, and I think a 32 will do that for me. While I'm at it, I figured I'd protect this bad boy with one of these. This is an Absoluteblack oval bash guide. So it's a bash guard with the chain guide mixed into it. And this mounting part here is made out of aluminum, and the taco bash guard here is made out of thick, dense plastic. As you can see, it's got hardware on here so that you can replace this if you damage it beyond its capability of protecting your drivetrain anymore. One of the sweet benefits of this one is the chain guide is adjustable for just about any oval or round setup you can think of. And all of these marks here delineate different size chain rings. The other great part about this is it weighs almost nothing, and it uses titanium parts, titanium hardware to bolt everything together. So it's super light, but it retains all of its sturdiness. Its party piece is this part here that the chain goes through. I remember most of the time when you take off your chain, you have to take off the chain guide. Well, this thing here, the outside of it just swivels up and out of the way. It's kind of hard to do with one hand. But that swivels up so you can pull your chain right out. That's pretty sweet. All right, both of these are super easy to install, and I'm going to show you just how easy they are, but this isn't a step-by-step process. For that, I'd have to give you very specific step-by-step instructions on how to remove your cranks and chainring and whatnot, and well, I just don't know what kind of cranks you're running. So I'm just going to breeze through the crank removal, show you how easy it is to install a direct drive chain ring on most cranks. It's really simple. The process might be different, but it's really simple. And if you have ISCG05 mounts, then this type of bash guard or chain guide will work. And if you don't know what ISCG05 mounts are, this is what they are. So if your bottom bracket has this triangle of mounts here around it, then anything that you buy for a bash guard or a chain guide or a bash guide that has that mounts through ISCG05 mounts, then you're good to go. You can get one of those and just bolt it right on. All right, so let's get going. So the first thing you do is take the cranks off. I'm sure everybody knows how to do this. Well, maybe not everybody, but that's the first thing you do in changing the chain ring is you take the cranks off. It's pretty simple. Depending on your type of cranks, they can be different, but they should just be hand loose like this. You know, it should just come right off like no problem. Totally kidding about that. The cranks should be pretty darn tight. I had already loosened mine off camera. See, that's the magic of video. These aren't going to come out. They're going to need tapped out. So different crank types, they attach their chain rings in different ways. Sram takes these torque bolts and puts them in there, and you can see that this chain ring can only go on one way. So when you get an oval, a lot of people worry about whether you're putting the oval on in the right way, but you can't do it wrong these days. You put it on there to where the bolt holes will work, and that's that. There are some oval chain rings that let you adjust the ovality of them. Is ovality a word? Ovalish? Ovally? I think it's ovality. That'll let you adjust that, but Absoluteblack has got it dialed and there is no adjustments. Torx bolts. They're not very tight. They don't need to be all that tight. I don't know if these come with Loctite on them or not. I am curious as to what torque setting these are supposed to be at. So it looks like they do have Loctite on them. Probably was blue at one time. T26 tightened to 8 to 9 Newton meters. Where'd my paper towel go? I found my paper towel. So obviously you want this to be nice and clean. All these joints where the chainring's going to touch the cranks. There's no reason to put grease in there. They're not moving. As long as you service your bike regularly, I don't think it's a big deal. If you were the type of person to put this in there and never ever take it off, it might be worthwhile to put a little anti-seize or maybe even just a touch of grease all around here, just so that the aluminum doesn't bond to the aluminum over time with, you know, crud, sweat, whatever else might get in there. Boom. Blue thread locker. Really looking forward to having a bigger chainring on the front. Spinning that cassette out, all that power. It's easy to have power and spin out an Eagle cassette when you have a 30-tooth chainring on the front. A lot of people have been like, really, a 30-tooth chainring on an Eagle cassette? That's like a little bit redonkulous. And I kind of agree, because I'm not the most powerful rider. Like I said, I'm just finding myself in the bottom third of the cassette almost all the time. So I'll be happy to get up in the middle. Torque wrench. Newton meters. All right. Oh yeah, baby. Click, click. Boom. That's installed. See how painless and easy that is? Can't wait to ride tomorrow. Yee-hoo. So I spared you the details of putting the cranks back on. And once they go on, your cranks should spin like so. They should be silent. They should move fairly freely. And then you can see the ovality here. I'm gonna go with that word. I think that works. So now that's all left to do is put the chain on. Oh, I gotta put the bash guard on too. And I might as well just put the chain on first. These are narrow wide chain rings, so just make sure you get it set in the right spot. You'll be good to go. Of course, Absoluteblack. Ow, I just smashed my thumb in between the chainstay and the crank. That really hurt. Ow. That's gonna leave a mark. They do make these things specifically for cranks. And so they made this to replicate that Sram chainring as far as the chain line and clearances and everything else. So they've really put a lot of thought into how they design these, and they've done a very good job. I've had them on 2 different types of cranks now, and they fit perfectly on both of them. If you haven't tried them, they're like 52, 54 bucks. You can find them on Amazon. You can order direct with Absoluteblack from their website, all the same prices. I'll put a link in the description if you feel like you want to give any of these a try. You might like it. You might join the Oval Revolution. So now I'm going to put the bash guard on. We're going to put this thing on. Bash guard. Let's see, I can reach the hole right through there. Put it in there so it's a little snug, but it's still so that you can still move the bash guard to adjust it. And then we'll have to turn the chainring around to find the proper hole where we can access it over here, and we can access down here for this one. Can't forget the thread locker. Since we got this one exposed, we'll go ahead and put it in there. Fingers don't fail me now. I think that's like the biggest one. They're probably all the same size, but it's pretty sweet that you can take this thing on and off without removing your cranks, because that kind of sucks. No, this thing will spin back and forth like that. I think the optimal spot would be back like that. That's what I'm talking about. I was just gonna get the bash guard, but then I was like, well, might as well get the bash guard and chain guide. Not that I've ever had a problem with the chain popping off, but according to Nate Hills, You never have a problem with your chain popping off until you do, and that sucks. So, oops, sorry about that. That'd be that. So quiet. So that's it. It's pretty simple. It's easy to do. It's painless. Give you more power up to hills. The bash card could really save your ass, especially if you have a nice chain ring on there, or even your stock chain ring. It'll keep you riding for the rest of the day. Chain guard keeps your chain on. Nate Hills approved. Some astute viewers may be wondering what it is I'm going to do with this brand new, unused, absolute black, even though it's gold, 30-tooth oval chain ring. I'm going to give it away to one of you guys watching. And here's what you have to do. Well, wait. First, I'm going to tell you what it's compatible with. It's compatible with. It's a long list of crap too, so listen up. Sram is the key word here. If you don't have Sram cranks, I don't think it's compatible with your cranks. Sram XX1, XX1 Eagle, X01, X01 Eagle, X1 1400, GX 1400, XO, X9, X7, S2210, S14 cranks using the GPX and long BB30 spindle only. If you don't have one of those items or all of those items or anything like that, this won't work for you. But if you do, or if your buddy does, or if your girlfriend does, or your wife, whatever, and you want this, then all you have to do is go to my Instagram. You'll see a link down here somewhere, I think. And also, I'll leave in the description, I'll show you what this is compatible with. But go to my Instagram, like it, share it with a friend, and in a week or so, I will use my top secret, super high-tech, computer-generated random selector machine and pick one of you who have followed instructions, and then I'll get up in your DMs, get your address from you, stalk you. No, sorry. I won't stalk you, I promise. But I will send you this if you send me your address. I know somebody will be excited because somebody will do that and somebody will win this. And I'll be happy for you. You can join the Oval Nation or the Oval Revolution. Oh wait, does the Oval Nation come after the Oval Revolution? I think it does. I think you have the Revolution, then you have the Oval Nation. At any rate, until then, thanks for watching.